There are two plastic clips holding the lid down. First, unscrew those using a Phillips head screwdriver and remove them. If you find this content useful, please hit the like button and subscribe. With a hand on either side of the lid, push it back about 1 inch and lift it off. Next, remove the detergent dispenser by depressing the blue tab in the middle, as shown here. There are two Phillips head screws behind the detergent dispenser. Remove them. There's one Phillips head screw in the upper left-hand corner securing the user interface to the body of the machine. Make sure you remove that. There are also plastic tabs securing the UI. Walk around to the front of the machine and using your fingers, pry back and pull up at the same time, releasing the user interface. For this specific job, there's no reason to unplug the UI, so just rest it on top of the machine. Behind the little door for the coin trap, there's one Phillips head screw holding the facade of the coin trap onto the body of the machine. Remove it. There's a little hose next to the coin trap. First turn your shop vac on, then remove the plug from the little hose and move the nozzle of the shop vac up to the hose and remove any remaining water that's left over in the machine. Just suck it all out. Remove the plastic facade in front of the coin trap. There's one more Phillips head screw behind that facade. Remove it. You may need a stubby screwdriver for this. I wasn't able to get my power driver in, but the stubby worked perfect. There's a spring clamp holding the large bellows, the drum bellows, or gasket onto the front of the machine. At 6 o'clock on the bottom, there's an actual spring with two eyes. Get a screwdriver or something, stick it in one of those eyes and pry it back and up. And then using your tool, being careful not to rip the bellows, move it all the way around and then put it aside. Next, with your fingers, pry the bellows back away from the machine, separating it from the machine. Work it all the way around, then just stuff it inside the machine. There are several screws along the top here. Remove them. If you find this content useful, please hit the like button and subscribe. Make sure you support the front of the machine when removing the last screw. Then lean the machine slightly back, exposing the wire harness to the door switch. Then disconnect the door switch. Next, lean the front of the machine back towards you, then lift it up and put it to the side. Finally, we have access to the drain pump. You can see it here. Here you can see the pump from another angle. We're going to need to remove two hoses here using channel locks. After removing the tub hose, get your finger up inside, but be careful, there could be some glass or something in there, you never know what's in there, but check just to see if there's any debris inside the pump. After removing the drain hose, using a cone-shaped nozzle on the end of your shop vac, get the shop vac on both ends of the drain hose, the one connected to the pump and the one in the back of the machine, to make sure the hose is clear of all debris. Here you can see me checking the hose from the tub to the drain pump one last time for any debris. Sometimes a small sock or something can be stuck in there. Remove these 3 bolts. There's a vibration dampening base underneath the drain pump. Usually we don't have to remove this base, but in this case, since we have the washer pedestal, we can't get directly underneath the machine, so we have to remove the entire base to get at the drain pump. Once you have access to the drain pump, take notice of which wire goes on top and which wire goes on the bottom, and remove them. In this case, the red wire is on top and the black is on the bottom. There are 3 Phillips head screws securing the drain pump to the pump housing. With a Phillips head screwdriver, remove all 3. After removing the 3 screws, I still wasn't able to twist the pump off the pump housing because the pump housing was secured to the dampening base and I wasn't able to wiggle it free. So there's 2 screws on the bottom here. Remove those. Finally, I was able to get the pump free. One of the ways you can tell if a pump is bad or good is by comparing a good pump to a bad pump. You can see here on the good pump there's resistance when spinning the prop, and on the bad one it just spins freely. There's a white plastic cover over the pump. You need to pry that free from either side with your fingers like you see here, and then put it on the new pump. You kind of have to wiggle it in and kind of shove it in. You'll figure it out. It's not that complicated. When placing the new pump back onto the pump housing, make sure the orientation is the same as where it was when you took it off. The same holes on the pump align with the same holes you took it off of on the pump housing. When replacing all 3 screws to secure the pump, make sure you get them nice and snug, but don't over tighten it because you're dealing with plastic here. You don't want to strip it out. Don't forget the 2 screws on the bottom securing the pump housing to the dampening base. Next, replug the electrical wires back to the pump housing. Remember, in this case, the orientation of the red wire and the black wire. I seem to have misplaced the footage where I put the 3 bolts securing the dampening base back down to the bottom of the machine. Make sure to do that before putting the front of the machine back on. When putting the front face of the machine back on, notice that there are 3 holes or grooves in the bottom of the front face that match up with 3 pegs or tongues on the base of the machine. Don't forget to reconnect the wire harness for the door switch on the right hand side while supporting the front of the machine with your left side. While supporting the front of the machine with your left hip, reinsert all the Phillips head screws along the top of the front of the machine. Next, we have to reattach the large bellows or gasket. There's a metal lip around the hole for behind the door where the drum is. You need to take your fingers, all 4 fingers for both hands, and peel back the edge of the bellows and tuck it in around that lip all the way around the door opening. When finished, make sure you have a tight seal all the way around. When reapplying the circular spring clamp, there's a special tool like a plier you can get off of Amazon.com that really helps us out a lot. After reapplying the spring clamp, just reassemble the rest of the machine. Unfortunately, it seems like I've lost the rest of the footage, but it's pretty easy to figure out the rest from here on in. If you like this content, please give a thumbs up, share it with your friends, subscribe and all that jazz, and get out and get some, people. It's a beautiful day.